Welcome to Good Games Spawn Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Hex.
And I'm Barjo.
Pika pika!
And that's Darren.
Pikachu!
Darren, we know it's you.
Oh, I was just getting into the spirit of all things Pokemon.
Well, yes, we are reviewing the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Black and White. That's coming up later in the show. But Darren, that's no reason to dress up like a giant banana.
I don't know, I think he looks kind of cute.
Pika!
Well, you're meant to be the data analyzing robot, not the cosplaying robot.
Choo!
On with the show?
On with the show.
Pikachu!
Do not adjust your set, Spawnlings. You have entered the Ask Good Game Zone, the special part of the show where we control the horizontal, we control the vertical, and most importantly, we control the answers.
Our first letter is from Taco Man in Queensland.
What's your problem, Taco Man? How can we help?
I really want to download Ilo Milo. Well, at least my sister does. Long story short, she saw a review and she thought that it would be really good, but she can't find the best website. So it would be really good if you could just send me the best website to download from. Thanks. P.S. Darren is the biggest noob.
He is such a noob.
Thanks for writing in, Taco Man. Your problem has an easy solution. You won't find Ilo Milo on any website because it's a download game for the Xbox 360. You can only buy it through the XBLA store, which you access when you take your Xbox online.
Okay, next up is... Hello? It's Darren, he heard us call him a noob.
We didn't call him a noob. Taco Man called him a noob.
It doesn't matter.
It's all on Taco Man right now. No responsibility.
Who's Taco Man? Next up is a letter from Michelle in Melbourne. I've been trying to find some good online Flash games, but I can't seem to find any. Do you guys know games that are interesting for 10 and 11-year-olds? P.S. You guys rock. P.P.S. Darren is a huge noob. No, Darren, it wasn't me. No, that was someone else too.
Just
No, it was-
unplug it.
Oh no, he's gonna be well angry. Thanks for writing in, Michelle, and for your impartial opinion of Darren's skills. There are stacks of online Flash games, but tracking down good ones can be tricky. Here are some you may enjoy.
The first one that comes to mind is Robot Unicorn Attack. It's a simple game where you use just 2 buttons to make your robot unicorn jump and dash through obstacles, and it's easy to get into, but harder to master, and it has a cheesy 80s soundtrack too.
For a great real-time strategy experience, we'd recommend Desktop Tower Defense, a game where you build mazes of gun turrets to keep out the invading little creeps. Mega addictive.
There are some great platform puzzle games too, like Fancy Pants Adventures, Line Rider, and N. They can get fiendishly difficult, but they're stacks of fun too.
Don't forget Bejeweled.
Yeah, but the free version is packed full of ads. It gets pretty distracting. Okay, next one is this one from Jacinta in Adelaide, who has a question about time travel.
Woo! Hey guys, do you know if the Back to the Future game will be available in Australia? And if so, when? And which consoles will it be available on? Also, would you guys either be able to show us a sneak peek of the game or review it? Thanks heaps. Smiley face, XX. P.S. Please answer. I've been asking this question for ages and I really need to know.
Well, thanks for writing in, Jacinta. The Back to the Future game is actually available now. The first 2 episodes of the 5-episode series have already been released for PC and Mac. They're also coming eventually to iPad and PS3.
The catch is, this is a downloadable game. You can buy it from the Telltale Games website, but not in any bricks and mortar real-world shops.
They may do a retail release later on, like they did for Telltale's Monkey Island game, but that's ages away, and if it ever happens. So if you just want to play with Marty and Doc Brown, then get clicking.
Right, next we have an intriguing question from Brianna in Victoria.
To everyone on Good Game, sometimes you look at bad games that you don't like, then why are they on the show?
Thanks for writing in, Brianna. We play games we don't like on the show for a very good reason. To warn you about them. Games are expensive, and when you waste your time and money on a bad game, it's just devastating.
So that's why we review the bad games and the meh games along with the good ones, to help you get the best value out of your gaming dollar and to alert you to gaming gems that you might otherwise have missed out on. Next, we have a suspicious viewer with a suspicious question.
Suspicious. Hey Barjo and Hex, is there any type of game on Xbox 360 that is remotely like Mod Nation? Please answer. P.S. Please kick Darren in the bolts for me.
Thanks for writing in, suspicious viewer. Firstly, we're not going to hit Darren. He may be a grumpy robot, but he's also our friend. As for your question, if you're asking if there are any kart racing games on 360, then your options are limited. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing is probably your best bet.
There was also a Madagascar kart racing game, but it was...
Don't forget Connect Joyride.
No, I don't think we'll ever forget that one. Finally, we have a tech support question from Good Game SP Rocks.
Hi guys, my Xbox 360 is like broken or something. When I turn it on, nothing comes up on the screen and the left half of the ring thingamajig keeps flashing red. The only way to turn it off is to unplug it. Please answer, because I've asked this question like 47,832,648 questions and no response. P.S. I just bought a new game and I really want to play it. P.P.S. If you don't answer, you suck.
Thanks for writing in, Good Game SP Rocks. We're sad to say that the Xbox 360 has been plagued with problems since launch, with earlier models breaking down all the time.
If the left half of the light ring is flashing red, then that's your 360's way of telling you it's overheating. Make sure that your console is freestanding with plenty of room for ventilation on all sides. Make sure that none of the holes in the case are covered up. They need to be exposed so that its cooling fans can be super effective.
That goes for the little holes on the underside too, so make sure it's sitting on a hard surface like wood. A soft surface like carpet can actually block these holes on the underside of the console and stuff up the ventilation. Also, never put your console near something hot.
We can't stress enough how important ventilation is to keep your system healthy, and that goes for all consoles and PCs, not just 360.
Darren alone has over 73,000 fans inside his system, but he's still a hothead. Well, that's all we've got time for this week. Remember, if you have a pressing question about the world of gaming, write to us at our website. Here.
We've got to turn it on.
All right. It's powerful. It's more powerful than I expected.
Now, if I try this attack... Aha! It's super effective!
Darren, let us in. That's my DS you've got in there.
Yeah, come on, Darren. We've got reviews to do.
Sorry, Barjo, Hex, but I have important matters to attend to, like analysing the Spawnling database for noobs and playing the new Pokemon.
Come on, Darren. You've been analysing those databases for weeks now. Surely you have a result.
Affirmative! I've had quite a response from the Spawnlings, and I'm rather relieved to find that a significant number of the Spawn are definitely not noobs. When it comes to Pokemon, at least.
Well, that's good news. Can you tell us who?
Well, there are too many to name, but I was quite impressed with these entries. When I challenged the Spawn to send in photos showing how many Pokemon they've captured, I didn't expect such lofty numbers. Keep on going, Spawnlings. I'm proud of you.
You know, Darren, not every Spawnling plays Pokemon. Are you going to let all those other spawners out there get off scot-free?
For once, you raise a good point, Barjo. I'm afraid I'm going to have to test the Spawnlings further with a different game.
Okay, well, maybe we can leave that till next week, Darren. I mean, we have to get on with the show.
Oh, okay. I'll be right with you. Just as soon as I've evolved this Blitzel! Pikachu, Pikapi. Pikapi, Pikachu, Pika.
Darren, calm down. We don't want you to blow another fuse.
Oh, I've installed a variety of backup systems for this review.
Well, Pokemon is back, and it's not one of those spin-offs like Mystery Dungeon or Pokemon Ranger. This is the next generation in the series. It's a brand new game with a new region and new Pokemon.
Pokemon Black and White on the DS puts you in the shoes of another teenager setting off on his or her epic quest to catch Pokemon, defeat 8 gym leaders, and become the Pokemon champion by defeating the Elite Four.
Oh, this sounds a little bit too familiar.
Yes, it does, Darren, but it's also Pokemon tradition. You start off in your hometown where a local professor lets you choose your first Pokemon. Soon, after being taught the basics, you run into Team Plasma, who want to free Pokemon from trainers and the confinements of Pokeballs, and somehow it becomes your job to stop them.
If you've played Pokemon before, then you'll realise that, yeah, it is the same formula all over again. Each battle move in each Pokemon has a certain type or types, and different type moves are strong or weak against different type Pokemon.
It's a deep battle system. Not only does each Pokemon learn different moves, but their stats will also affect how strong an attack is, or whether they attack first or how much damage they'll take. And then you've got Pokemon natures that slightly alter each Pokemon's stats. And if you really want your Pokemon to have the best stats, you'll make sure your Pokemon has good IVs, and you'll EV train them and breed them so that they get good egg moves.
The battle system is a lot of fun. It's so satisfying when you use the right Pokemon with the right attack and take down your opponent. And even when your Pokemon faints, you don't feel like the game's being unfair because you know why you lost.
Let's talk about the new stuff. Yeah. XP is now weighted so that your lower level Pokemon will earn more XP than the higher ones, and also a lot of the attacks have been tweaked.
Also, TMs, which let you teach your Pokemon specific moves, are now reusable.
It's such a lifesaver. I remember not wanting to use my TMs and saving them up for my perfectly bred team, but then I never had that team, so I never used them. What a waste. Pokemon Centers and Pokemarts are now the one building, which is handy. Oh, and there's
156 new Pokemon!
I was just about to say that, Darren. You've got to catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
Got to catch them all.
Gotta catch them all.
Gotta catch them.
This game features a much more 3D world as well. Everything from giant skyscrapers to floor cushions were all 3D models. But running around, there's one thing I noticed that wasn't 3D, and that was the people.
Yeah, I just don't get it, Hex. You know, everything else is in 3D, but the people, they're just these 2D sprites. They can only look up, down, left, and right. We've seen great games like Dragon Quest IX and any of the Final Fantasy remakes, which all have great 3D characters in a 3D world, but here, I don't know why they've stuck with 2D characters in a 3D space with set movements, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but you have to admit the game still looks great though, and there's certainly moments that really show off those graphics, like that bridge scene.
But you don't do anything on the bridge. There's no random encounters or any trainer battles. You just walk across it. It's a long way.
Take it you didn't really like the Ferris wheel either then.
No, never get into a Ferris wheel with somebody that you don't know.
Affirmative.
The camera is more dynamic this time around though, not just when you're crossing bridges, but in battles as well. It creates this real sense of distance between the Pokemon.
They had added some great touches to the battle interface though. Status ailments are now visible on the actual Pokemon in battle, and all Pokemon are now properly animated, which makes them feel more alive.
And some of those animations look great, but what's with the debuff animations? It looks like someone just sprinkled snow on them. The Pokédex entries give each Pokemon their own unique personality, if at times a little too interesting.
One thing they've done really well here though is they've made it really easy for Poke noobs. Through interactions with people you meet along the way, the game introduces you to all the gameplay mechanics that Poke fans are already accustomed to.
There are well-placed rest stops on long routes with no Pokemon centers as well. And all the Pokemon that you encounter up until you become the Pokemon champion are brand new, so it felt really fresh to me, Hex.
Yeah, there were so many times that I encountered Pokemon, but I was not sure at all what type it was, so I had no idea what attack to use. It really is like playing Pokemon for the first time.
But we should talk about the multiplayer, because that's where the game really shines. Apart from the standard one-on-one battles and trades, you've now got something called Sea Gear, which lets you battle and trade over the infrared built into the game cartridge, as well as co-op called Entralink, which lets you walk around in your friend's world and complete support missions for them.
The Sea Gear even lets you conduct surveys and video chat with your friends, if you have a DSi, but four-way chat is only available locally and not on Wi-Fi, so I don't know why you'd need video chat with your friends if you're already in the same room. It does not compute.
There's also the gear station in Nimbasa City, which lets you team up with a friend or fight solo through various game modes like 3-on-3 battles where you make your way through 7 rounds and earn battle points, which you can exchange for rare items or TMs. There's so much to do here, especially if you want to battle competitively. I mean, this could literally last you hundreds and hundreds of hours. And then there's the Pokemon Musical.
What is this? You dress up your Pokemon with various accessories and then let them compete against friends or AIs, but apart from appealing to the audience twice, you don't really need to do anything.
But dressing up and dancing is great.
Sorry, Darren, but I also found this a bit lame. You can win new accessories by doing well in the musical, but it's like Pokemon contests in Ruby and Sapphire. It just doesn't affect the main game, and it's really not that fun. In fact, as far as the sounds in the game go, I mean, while the music is great, some of the sound effects don't sound like they've changed since the old Game Boy days.
Another thing that hasn't changed is that there's still only one save file. And Darren, you can't just go deleting my save file every time you want to play this game. I put a lot of time and effort into it.
But the Pokemon you chose were noobs, Barger. Everyone knows that Oshawott is the best starter.
Yeah, everyone knows that, Darren, and that's because it's also the easiest starter. That's why I went for a Snivy, because it has a challenge.
Okay guys, final thoughts badge?
Pokemon Black and White is pretty much the same old game with some nice new additions. The visuals haven't been improved that much, so I kind of wish they'd take a few more risks with the game in general, Hex. But, you know, it's that classic saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm giving it 8 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Look, I think Poke fans will go nuts over this game. I mean, this truly is Pokemon at its best, and if you've never played Pokemon before, then this is a great place to start. It's also really difficult to put down, so I'm giving it 9 out of 10 rubber chickens.
Snivy? Really?
In the end, Darren, if you do something more challenging, it's more rewarding.
Everything's a challenge for you, isn't it, Marja?
Darren's a challenge for me.
It's all the big words I use, isn't it? Thought so.
Well, Darren, it's been fun, but can I have my Pikachu costume back now?
Oh, can't I borrow them for one more sleep cycle, please?
All right, but if you get oil on it anywhere...
There's no time to sleep anyway, guys. We've got so many games to review.
Next week, we'll be reviewing Kirby's Epic Yarn.
And Darren has another I'm No Noob challenge with a whole new game next week.
Affirmative, Barjo. It's serious business.
Until then, may all your Pokemon evolve into their highest form. Hex out.
Barjo out.
Darren out.
Okay, seriously, can I have it back?
Negative. 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 Pikachu. Pika.
I reckon he looks pretty good in it. I'm getting used to it. I think Darren should wear it every week.
Actually, you can have it back.
Just does anything to spite me.
Affirmative.
It's like opposite day with you, Darren.
Negative. Affirmative.